His feet were stretched. Khalifa walks past. He doesn't retract his feet. Khalifa gets angry, sends gold to him. When the gold comes, he says, take it back, I don't want it. Khalifa gets really angry. He said, first he disrespects me. Then after I am compassionate to him, he disrespects me again by not accepting my money. I want to know the reason why, or I want his head. No questions asked. So when they came to him, he said, الَّذِي يَمُدُّ رِجْلَاهُ لَا يَمُدُّ يَدَاهُ وَالَّذِي يَمُدُّ يَدَاهُ لَا يَمُدُّ رِجْلَاهُ. The one who spreads his feet doesn't spread his hands. And the one who spreads his hands doesn't spread his feet. He said, the one who wants things from you will not disrespect you, or will not, is going to do, mashallah, this and that with you. But the one who is not fazed by your wealth and knows Allah is Razaq, he doesn't care who you are. And that is the quality. No one's wealth or money should influence anyone's decision. Just the way the person became the richest, they can become the poorest in a heartbeat. ضربت عليهم الذلة أينما ثقفوا إلا بحبل من الله وحبل من الناس وباءوا بغضب من الله وضربت عليهم المسكنة ذلك بأنهم كانوا يكفرون بآيات الله. That's because they used to disbelieve in the signs of Allah. ويقتلون الأنبياء بغير حق, and they would kill the prophets without truth or without right. ذلك بما عصوا وكانوا يعتدون. That's because they disbelieved and they transgressed. ليسوا سواء من أهل الكتاب أمة قائمة يتلون آيات الله آناء الليل وهم يسجدون. Allah says not everybody is equal. ليسوا سواء. Just because you're talking about a group of people doesn't mean everyone is like this. من أهل الكتاب, there are some of them. أمة قائمة. They stand up and all they do is they read the Bible and they read their book and they're pious. آناء الليل وهم يسجدون. During the odd times of the night and while they're in sajda. يؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر. They believe in Allah and they believe in the واليوم الآخر, the last day. وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. They command to do good deeds and they stop from evil. وَيُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ. And they strive towards good deeds. وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمْ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. And they are from the righteous. However, this is before the Prophet ﷺ. After Rasulullah ﷺ, then his nabuwwat has to be accepted. وَمَا يَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ فَلَا يَكْفُرُوا. Whatever good they do, they shall never go unappreciated for it. Allah says, I will not forget the good that they do, but I will give them good for the good they do. وَاللَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِالْمُتَّقِينَ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows who the God-fearing are. إن الذين لا تغني عنهم أموالهم ولا أولادهم من الله شيئا. Indeed, the people who do kufr, their wealth and their children can't save them from Allah. وَأُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. They are the people of Jahannam, هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. They'll be there forever. مَثَلُ مَا يُنْفِقُونَ فِي هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. The example of what you spend in this dunya is the example of كَمَثَلِ رِيحٍ فِيهِ سِرٌّ أَصَابَتْ حَرْثَ قَوْمٍ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ فَأَهْلَكَتْ. The example of this is like a wind that has a cold chill to it. It strikes the gardens, or it strikes the farms of those who wrong themselves, and it destroys it. وَمَا ظَلَمَهُ اللَّهُ وَلَكِنْ أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. Allah doesn't do dhulm, but we do dhulm upon ourselves. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا بطانة من دونكم لا يألونكم خبالا. O you who believe, do not take anyone as an insider but those from amongst yourselves. The one who is your closest friend should be a mu'min, a Muslim. وَدُّوا مَا عَنِتُّمْ. They would spare no effort to do you any harm or mischief. قَدْ بَدَتِ الْبَغْضَاءُ مِنْ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. You can hear the Islamophobia from their mouths. Baghda, Islamophobia, from their mouths. وَمَا تُخْفِي صُدُورُهُمْ أَكْبَرُ. What their voices say is not as bad as what their hearts say. Their hearts want to say worse than what you are actually hearing. This is what Allah talks about Islamophobia in the Quran. What is He saying? قَدْ بَدَتِ الْبَغْضَاءُ مِنْ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. They say Islamophobic chants. وَمَا تُخْفِي صُدُورُهُمْ أَكْبَرُ. But their hearts have even more hate than you know from their words. And that's scary. قَدْ بَيَّنَّا لَكُمُ الْآيَاتِ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْقِلُونَ. Allah has made the signs clear for you if you have intellect. هَا أَنْتُمْ أُولَٰئِ تُحِبُّونَهُمْ وَلَا يُحِبُّونَكُمْ. Here you all love them, وَلَا يُحِبُّونَكُمْ, and they don't love you. وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْكِتَابِ كُلِّهِ. You believe in the kitab completely. وَإِذَا لَقُوكُمْ قَالُوا آمَنَّا. When they meet you, they say, oh, we're together and we believe and yeah, everything is great. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا عَضُّوا عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَنَامِلَ مِنَ الْغَيْظِ. When they're separate, they're in anger and they hate the fact that you're successful. قُلْ مُوتُوا بِغَيْظِكُمْ. Tell them, die in your anger. إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Allah knows what's your heartbeat. إِن تَمْسَسْكُمْ حَسَنَةٌ تَسُؤْهُمْ. This is a sign of a munafiq, and unfortunately this is in the believers as well. A good comes to you, تَسُؤْهُمْ, it hurts them. وَإِن تُصِبْكُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَفْرَحُوا بِهَا. But if something bad happens, they get happy. You deserved it. This is what happens to people who don't like me or say bad things about Allah ne karaye inko. Look what happened to those people. No, this is the sign of the people who are the most staunchest kuffar of Makkah. وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا لَا يَضُرُّكُمْ كَيْدَهُمْ شَيْئًا. If you have sabr and you fear Allah, no one's hasad, jealousy, anger, temper will affect you. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ مُحِيطٌ. إِنَّ اللَّهَ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ مُحِيطٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encompassing of every single thing that they do. Okay. You made it to a quarter. Huh? Tomorrow, inshallah, for Uhud. Actually, my throat was very, very dry today. Very dry. More than any of the other days. So, I didn't even know how I was going to be able to speak. So my mouth keeps on drying up. I think because we had Papa last night. That's why. My mother called it out. She said, you're going to be thirsty tomorrow. Yeah, she said, you're going to be thirsty tomorrow. Yeah, and this fast is the toughest fast so far for me. Any questions? We'll take a few questions, inshallah. Yes, I'll make dua, inshallah. That's one thing. Remind me every day, inshallah. We'll do a small little dua, inshallah. Every day at the end of. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me shifa. And you're our senior, and you're, mashallah, closer to Allah. You've prayed more than I have. You've studied more than me. You've done more ibadah than me. Fasted more than me. Give more sadaqah than me. Your du'as will be more effective for me. For every salah of mine, mashallah, you have more salahs. Just grab that from him. Khidr. This sweet kid, mashallah. Anyone has questions they can ask? Jazakallah khair. Mashallah, very well printed. Very good printing, mashallah. Al-Huda, very, very nice printing. This is really, really nice, mashallah. Very, very good. Otherwise, you know what happens? The dua paper is so bad quality that we do dua for that paper. Very, very nice. It's high quality. I really enjoyed this, mashallah. For a Muslim to marry an Ahl Kitab woman. So in Ahl Kitab, Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah is a bit flexible in the definition of Ahl Kitab. And therefore, if some of those Ahl Kitab do shirk, then they are not constituted from Ahl Kitab. The Ahl Kitab means those who have a more rigorous monotheistic approach to the concept of Christianity. No, there's pockets of them, there's groups of them. None of them are on you don't, but there's pockets and concepts of them. And from the Yahud as well. A lot of the Yahud are very staunch on their religion. So that's okay as well. No. For a man marrying a Christian woman, no. Or a Jewish woman, no. It can't be the other way around, but no. when I say Ahlul Kitab, I meant in the sense that they had a kitab with them. I don't mean that they're in the definition of the Ahlul Kitab. Yeah. When it says Ahlul Kitab, it's Christian or Jews. I meant that in a definition that a kitab was sent to them. That's what I meant. I should have clarified that. A munafiq, a fasiq is the one who openly sins. You can be a Muslim and a fasiq. A munafiq is the one who inside shows that outside they show they have iman, inside they have kufr. Package, beautiful, quality, hopeless. Outside it looks pretty, but inside it's nothing. Ultimately, they'll enter into Jannah. Ultimately. But they will be held accountable unless Allah forgives them through their grace. She said, what about the people who believe in Allah, but then they don't follow this? So they will be held accountable, judged for their deeds, unless Allah forgives them with His mercy. Over there, it's not talking about the ones who sin. But then it has two meanings to it. The ones who do kufrun duna kufrun, two levels of disbelief, right? One is the ultimate disbelief, and one is one is not following the action that Allah and His Messenger has commanded us to follow. So the ultimate disbelief is the one where you negate Allah and His Messenger completely. Yes. Say that again. Yeah, that's fine. Hajj Badr. That's fine. Hajj Badr. My mother does Hajj Badr for people. It costs like, I think, what, $400? But they send people from locally. They don't send it from outside. Yeah, my mother does it. What she does is, well, it's not my mother is the one, she runs the whole project. But my father gets, there's Sheikh Mufti Hijazi, who's one of the people, who has the shortest chain in the world to the Prophet ﷺ. He's the person with the shortest chain. So he has a school there and students and people there that always come. So from those, he vets them out and we give the money to him and then he gets the Hajj done. So it's one of the teachers of the Haram that gets it done. We just supply the finances for it. We don't know them personally. We know the Sheikh who gets it done. We trust the Sheikh because he gives dars in the Haram. He gives dars in Makkah itself. Yeah, because you have a Hajj inside. The reason is because when you are in the grave, your account is still open. You can still get sadaqah jariyah. Do you understand? In the grave, your accounts are still open. You can't do any actions, but your accounts are still open. Badal means in place. Not Badr. Not the battle. There is a difference of opinion in the sense that can Isal al-Thawab be done by non-children? Some people say only children can do it. And I respectfully disagree with that because it goes against the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And I'll give you an example. The Prophet ﷺ said, "In qata aml ibn Adam illa thalath." The actions of the son of Adam cease. إذا مات ابن آدم إن قطع عمله إلا ثلاث. When the son of Adam dies, all of his actions cease to exist besides three. ولد صالح, a righteous child. علم علمه, knowledge that he taught someone. صدقة جارية, maybe a tree or well or something. Okay, Allah says ولد صالح, a righteous child. What about walad is a boy? What about she's a righteous daughter? Okay, number two, what about if grandchildren do ibadah? Okay, what about if a brother does it? What about if a father does it? So does that mean a father can't do Hajj for his son, but the son can do Hajj for his father? Okay, number 2. That's one thing, right? Ilmun allama. You've written this kitab, mashallah. Dr. Farah Kashmir wrote this kitab. You are reading it. She writes a book on Hajj, or she's given a dars on Hajj. You've been inspired by it. You went to do Hajj. Does she get the reward of the Hajj? Yeah, she inspired you. Man dalla ala khairin falahu ajru mithlu fa'ilihi. You inspired me to do something good, you get the reward as well, right or wrong? So she gets the reward, doesn't she? By writing a kitab or teaching someone to do a Hajj or something, yes or no? So how could she get the reward by teaching someone who's not her child? Following? Okay. Number 3. You've made a tree. The people who eat the fruits from the tree are who? The needy. Are they related to you? Does the ajr get to you? Okay. So why of these 3 things? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about 3 categories of actions. One is a nasabi action. One is a aqli action. One is badani, one is nasabi, and one is mali. Badani means you use your whole body physically. No one is going to do dua for as much as your children will do dua for you. That's for sure. Allah is telling you, invest in your children. They're the people that are going to do the most for you. So first bring them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bring them into it. Okay. Then number 2, this is a badani, right? You have to use your body, take care of them, give them tarbiyah, badani, amal. Number 2 is aqli. Use your intellect for Allah and Allah will give you rewards after you pass away. And number 3 is mali. Use your wealth for Allah and Allah will repay you after you pass away. So these are 3 categories of actions the Prophet is mentioning. He's not doing a hasr of them. When he says, in qata amlu ibn Adam means his actions have ceased to be. He can't do any actions anymore. But people he's inspired, we all agree, if you leave a Quran here or the people who donated this masjid and people are praying over here, who's getting the reward of the salah? You passed away, you paid for this masjid over here, who's getting the reward? You're getting the reward. You go to Hajj, the one who builds haram or this and that, he's passed away there, but who's getting the reward for the Hajj? The king. The one who built it, whatever he's in, whatever capacity, he's still getting the ajr for it, right? The same ways in this capacity. The thing is that there's a lot of foresight in the hadith that we have to take a step back and see the hadith, compare it to all other ahadith as well. The Prophet ﷺ in Abu Dawood, the riwayat is that in Hajjatul Wada, he killed 63 camels. And then he said that this is for my ummah that has passed, that is, and that will be. Meaning, give the ajr of it. So he gave ajr, it wasn't related to anybody, but he gave the ajr to all of us. Make sense? There's something to say. What ayah number is it? $117 or $170? This ayah, مثل ما ينفقون في هذه الحياة الدنيا كمثل ريح فيها سر أصابت حرث قوم ظلموا أنفسهم فأهلكته was revealed either for 2 reasons. Number 1 was because Abu Sufyan at that time was not Muslim and he was financing the expedition against the Prophet ﷺ for Badr. Number 2, this is for the munafiqeen who would spend and support the disbelievers to fight against the believers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that the example of what they give is like a wind. The wind is not beneficial. Even though wind is supposed to, when you have crops, the wind blows the seed and the wind grows the crops. However, this wind is that wind that destroys production. This wind is in a beneficial production. So over here, Allah subhanahu. So what used to happen was that it wasn't just a wind. It used to be like a fireball. Sir is not just a wind. It's like a fireball. So it would come and it would burn everything down. So Allah is giving the likening that the Muslims are like growing something. They're trying to produce some effort. And then you have a group of people that come and just bulldoze everything down. And he's saying the example, مَثَلُ مَا يَنْفِقُونَ فِي هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا كَمَثَلِ رِيحٍ فِيهِ سِرٌّ. Like you have this fireball, أَصَابَتْ حَرْثَ قَوْمٍ ظَلَمُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ فَأَهْلَكَتْهُ. And then it destroyed all of their efforts. Because of the fact that they were oppressive and the fact that they were sinful. When you are supposed to, another interpretation is that when a person starts farming, they look for an ideal location where there would be good irrigation, water, soil is good, and the wind is good, the sunlight comes good, and something will grow. Right? That's the purpose of gardening. Now imagine you garden on the middle of the road. What's going to happen to your garden immediately? It's going to get destroyed. So you put the garden in the wrong, you invested in the wrong place. Right or wrong? Bad investment. So Allah's saying over here that you have the opportunity to go and invest with the believers and have your investment grow. But instead, what did you do? You invested in the wrong spot. And your investment is not going to give you any blessings, but rather it's all going to be destroyed and it's going to be a means of regret for you on the day of judgment. Make sense? You follow me? Anything else? Yes. Last question. It has to be for themselves. The first Hajj you do has to be for yourself. No. First Hajj, part of Hajj has to be for yourself. After that, yeah. That's the niyyah, yeah. Yes. Unless you're eating, no. Time and company. It's time and company. You have to spend time with them, company, suhbah. It's the exact way the Prophet ﷺ inspired people, suhbah. That's it. And it takes time. Kids just don't become excited all of a sudden. I give the example of her kid all the time. Her son used to literally, if I was walking in one direction, walk in a different direction. And I joke around about her daughter as well. She used to come in the class with a blanket, ready to go sleep in the court, but she's also really small too, so that's her kid is much older. How old is Dave? Yeah, so he's much older. So he would, where I would be walking, he would walk in a different alley. So if I'm walking this way, he saw that he'd walk the other side. But now he is the one youth in Frisco who calls me the most. Always. Yeah. And he just calls me, Assalamu alaikum, Wasim, how are you doing? How's everything? Are you good? I said, okay, everything's well? Yeah, alhamdulillah. So I wanted to say something to you, but I forgot. I was like, okay, it's fine. Out of mahabbah. He was the first one to sign up for i'tikaf. First one. To say, no, I'm going to be in i'tikaf. Out of mahabbah grows with time. It just doesn't happen that way. Yeah. He's got a lot of potential. He wants to memorize the Quran. He wants to do so much good. All this, it takes sahaba and muhabba. Look at Amin. He never used to come by me. Now he comes. I have to. Finish up. No, it's not only love. Narmi and garmi. There has to be both. You have to do it gently and you have to do it harshly, both. My tarbiyah with the youth is not only compassion, love. No, I'll roast them worse than their friends will roast them. They know that Mufti Wasim will roast them worse than any friend can roast them. And it keeps them in check. But then at the same time, like in the youth qiyam, I was giving a lecture, one guy talking. I said, Habibi, I couldn't take it anymore. Habibi, get up. I said, go sit over there. But at the end of the lecture, I gave him a full dua. Until kids started coming saying, Mufti Wasim, next time we're going to start talking in your lecture so we can get dua as well. So, you have to hold them accountable. Kids have a sense of respect as well. They're cheeky. They're short-mouthed. They have to say something to say. If you can outwit them, there's a level of respect. That's what it is. And this is what I've seen. Because I come from a New Yorker background. And it's all about being more witty than the person in front of you. And if you're able to outwit them, then there's a level of respect because they know that, okay, you know what? Their whole philosophy is on saying the last thing and saying something smart. That's what their whole philosophy is built on. If you can outwit them, then like, you know what? Let me think twice before I open my mouth. So this is how I do adab and training of the kids. That I'll start with muhabbat, and then once I know that they have a little connection, then I'll give them harsh tarbiyah, so that their akhlaq gets chiseled. They get one youngster I told yesterday, every day I make jokes on him, every single day. And then yesterday I put my hand on his head and I said, you know why I do this to you? To break your takabbur. To make you humble. Because if you can stay quiet and listen to what I have to say tomorrow at home in front of your mother and father, you also stay quiet. And he was like, Mufti Wasim, he's like, I don't have any pride, this and that. Everybody started laughing. And I said, look at all these chains and everything on you. He said, oh, you know what? He started putting his chains inside and everything. Started hiding. And I said, this is our job. To come outside. I said, you coming to the masjid or are you coming to where? So this is, I said, you're showcasing. It means you're trying to show that you have something. And then he said, oh no, you're right. So it's the tartib. And it doesn't happen like this. It takes time. It takes time. First, you have to bring them close. Once they're closer, once like Amin is here, then we can go down him, and we know he's not going to go anywhere. He'll remain here. My thing was that my parents had always taught me one thing: the teacher's never wrong. So that's why throughout my studies, I was one of the few students that every teacher knew that they could say whatever they wanted, done whatever. I would not have said a word back. They knew that. To the point that in a school of 1,000 students, I was flamed multiple times in front of us. Because I walked in with like Timberlands and like baggy clothes. Those and baggy clothes were a big thing, right? I walked in like completely like, and everybody was like, in a school where there's like people are below the poverty line, walking in with like Timbs and stuff, and like there was this level of urge. I'm from America, and they're like, I'll show you you're American in a second right now. My teacher said, one teacher told me that I'm gonna take it. So, and that teacher, I used to try to do his khidmat and he used to always kick me away. To the point that in front of 1,000 students, he told me, he said, I don't like you, Mufti Alauddin. I don't like you, don't ever come near me, don't ever talk to me. So I didn't say anything. And little did I know he was testing me. Later on, a few years later, he taught Bukhari in Makkah. Big guy, he's not a small scholar. Later, one year I called him and I said, Mufti Sahib, I know you've taught thousands of students. If you ever remember me by name, do dua for me. And you know what he said? He said, don't ever ask me to do dua for you. Because every day I remember you, your father and brother by name in tahajjud. He's the same teacher that gave me a piece of the inside of the Kaaba cloth. He said he was given it from 300 years ago. Someone gave it to him that had a 300-year lineage to it. Small stone from inside, because he was in the haram for decades on end. So he saw the haram being constructed, and he said, I grabbed this stone from the haram. And then he broke it, and he said, this is yours. No, he broke it and said, which piece would you like? So while they gave us sakhti in one end, they also complimented on the other side. They balanced it out. They did so much that their sakhti meant nothing to us. We knew it was for our khair. So it's about wanting your tarbiyah done. The main thing is if the kid wants their tarbiyah done, that's the best. And it's about the desire of their tarbiyah getting done. The kids getting their tarbiyah done, that's the desire. No, but the thing is that it's about developing that culture, right? So if I'm sitting around 5, 6 kids and all the kids are of that same mentality, and 1, 2 kids walk in, they will see the mentality of the others and they will conform. Kids are like chameleons. They take the color of the people around them. You have to set the tone. No, they're not. My parents have more challenges with me than my teachers did. It's natural. Kids will always take advantage of their parents. It's not right, but they will. It's because mommy will also say, "Jino koi baat nahi beta." It's okay. After the kid gets angry, "Beta, you want ice cream?" Now, which kid is going to care? He's getting ice cream regardless. What does it matter to him? The thing is that the teacher outside, we want his attention, and we know the teacher doesn't have to give us his attention. But the parent at home, the parent wants our attention. And we know that the parent will always be there for us to take advantage of it. You can't have that relationship that a teacher does. And you can't have that relationship that a friend does. And you have to understand that. Sometimes parents don't. They go to kids, no, we're a family, we're a family. We're a family, we get it. But this kid's growing up. Manage your relationship properly. Understand that they are also going to introduce other people. If they have friends, doesn't mean they don't like you as well. If they're close to someone else, doesn't mean they don't like you. You have to let them grow, but at the same time know that you're there for them. It becomes like a competition between parents. No, why are you out the other side? You have to let them grow, and let them know what's right, what's wrong, and then make their choices. Will they always make right choices? No. Did you make all right choices? No, you didn't. Therefore, if you made wrong choices, they also have the right to make wrong choices. But you have to be there to pick them up when they fall down. اللهم لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه كنبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذك منه كنبيك وحبيبك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Ya Allah, forgive our major and minor sins. Ya Allah, forgive the sins of our parents, our children, our spouses, our families. Ya Allah, those whose parents are alive, give them a long and healthy life. Keep their shade above us. Allow us to earn their du'as. Ya Allah, those whose parents have passed away, and those whose relatives and grandparents have passed away, and friends have passed away, fill their graves with nur, expand their graves, put rahmah and blessings in their grave. Ya Allah, make us into your awliya. Make us into your friends. Ya Allah, remove the love of the dunya from our hearts. Ya Allah, let us utilize Ramadan properly. Ya Allah, let the Quran be on our tongues, let dhikr be on our tongues. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, we remember everyone, but we forget you. Ya Allah, make us amongst those who remember you and forget others. Ya Allah, make us amongst those whose heart is connected to you and not to others. Ya Allah, make us amongst those who rely on you and not rely on others. Ya Allah, make us amongst those who trust you and not trust others. Ya Allah, make us amongst those who hope in you and not hope in others. Ya Allah, accept all of our deeds. Ya Allah, guide us towards the straight path. Ya Allah, those who are sick, give them shifa kamila daima ajala mustamirra. Ya Allah, guide our children, guide our youth. Ya Allah, put the love of iman in their heart, beautify iman in their heart. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Speaking on the children topic, I can say with a surety that no matter where your children are right now, they are still in the masjid more now than you were probably when you were their age. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. So you have to recognize that as well. Assalamu alaikum.